So I am very proud and pleased to introduce Krista Canfield.
Barbara and Jeff, I want to thank you for the lovely remarks and the wonderful welcome. I also want to thank all of you for inviting me to share this very special occasion with you. I've got a little test for you. With a show of hands, I want you to tell me if you know what you want to be when you grow up. How many folks? Interesting, very interesting. So a study last year found that 1 in 5 kids just want to be rich when they grow up. Number 2 was being famous. Number 3 was police officer. I think at that age I wanted to be a professional figure skater, so I think things have changed a little bit. You know those shirts that say one size fits all? Have you ever noticed that they don't really fit anyone perfectly? When I graduated high school, a neighbor gave me a book. It was very heavy reading. It was Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You Will Go. I packed that book up and I headed to New York City and I studied fashion design. Had you told me when I was at the Fashion Institute of Technology that one day I'd be working in California at a tech company, I would have asked you politely if you were joking. And then if you tapped me on the shoulder when I was working as a news reporter in Sioux Falls chasing tornadoes, that one day I'd be speaking at Convocation, I wouldn't have imagined that. And if you had tapped me on the shoulder and said one day I'd be working in PR, I would have said, what does PR stand for? But it's all those zigs and those zags that got me to where I am today. One size, one path does not fit all. In some ways, I can feel a little scary. Up until this point, you've always had a schedule of classes, a syllabus to follow, but there's no blueprint in life. Things aren't black and white either. This year address showed us that some people see blue and black, some people see white and gold, and for the record, I thought it was white and gold. The more shades of gray that sprout from our heads, the more we realize there are shades of gray in life too. You're not always right, I'm not always wrong. There are different ways of seeing things, and as my grandma says, people feel differently and you need to respect people's feelings even if they're different from your own. Mario Andretti, the famous race car driver, once said, if everything seems under control, you're just not going fast enough. The things that scare you are what make life an adventure. It's the unexpected twists and turns. It's those things that yield the most surprise and delight. It's the nights you didn't think you'd stay out late. It's the trips you hadn't planned on taking. A couple years ago, I got to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. I trained for it beforehand. I took the hardest physical climbs up the mountain in stride, but I wasn't ready for the snow blindness that set in the night before we summited. At the top of that peak, I couldn't even see the boots in front of me. As we hiked down that mountain, I could only see blurry vistas through my swollen eyelids. Sometimes it's the hike down from the top that's the hardest part, but that doesn't stop us from looking for the next peak. Excited, anxious, a little nervous, maybe a little bit relieved, thrilled. Class of 2015, I can only imagine how you feel right now. Your journey's about to begin and there are so many places that you'll get to go. There will always be things, public speaking, pain, parenthood, that scare you. Right now I'm scared I might botch this speech up, but that doesn't make it any less exciting. Bungee jumping with my dad in New Zealand wouldn't have been as thrilling if I wasn't scared. Calling off my engagement a few years ago scared the heck out of me. But now I'm with the most amazing guy I know. The first startup I worked at had layoffs when the recession hit. I was scared that the coworkers who were sitting next to me might be replaced with empty seats. That little startup turned out to be an incredible global company called LinkedIn. The exciting experiences don't mean as much if we don't struggle, if at one point we weren't scared of what might happen next. Like growing pains, the scary times stretch you into the person that you're destined to become. Scared means to fill, especially suddenly, with fear or terror. But to scare up, that means to obtain with effort, to gather, to find. A few of the students in this room may have had to scare up money for a slice of pizza at varsity, maybe a pint at Fagan's. To obtain with effort, to gather, to find. That doesn't sound as well scary as being scared. To have adventure in life, you might have to scare up courage. You might have to scare up some strength. You might have to step outside your comfort zone before the excitement begins. I've got a secret to tell you. My name's Krista Canfield, and I have a shoe problem. It's okay to wear armor if you're scared. As an introvert, I tend to be more comfortable in small groups than I am in big ones. Early in my career, I started wearing quirky shoes, one with donuts, dancing ballerinas. They're icebreakers, and they help spark conversations. I'm not the only one. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright wears pins to reflect her mood and as a way to get tough conversations started. People are more than their profiles. Get to know the stories behind their quirks, and you might be surprised at what you learn. I want to go back to those little kids, that group that wants to be rich. 1 in 5 kids wants to be rich. What happens after that? What's next? Some of you start a new job this year. Some of you may still be looking. Once you get that first job, what's next? A promotion? More money? A house? More things? I've been thinking about this a lot lately. When I joined Gogobot, the travel tech company I'm at now, the exec team worked together to come up with our vision and our mission. A vision's where you want to be in the long run. It's where you want to be in 5 to 10 years. It gets you out of the day-to-day grind, thinking about the big picture. A mission is where you'd like to be in 3 to 5 years. Before our first meeting, I asked everyone to look for statements that resonated with them. They could be from nonprofits, they could be from companies, they could be from small mom and pop shops. I looked at organizations I support and even businesses I don't like, and I reached out to people I didn't know from the companies I did admire, and I asked them to share their mission and their vision statements with me. Kobe Levy, an incredible Israeli shoe designer, told me his vision is to redefine shoe design as a wearable artistic object. Kind of a nice vision, huh? Teeks, which has saved my souls many times with their convertible flats, has told me that their mission is to empower women through fashion that is stylish, comfortable, and as flexible and versatile as they are. A Regular Choice, a unique UK brand, told me that their mission is to create original footwear that sets you apart from the crowd. I also have an uncle who has MS, so I looked up the National MS Society's vision, which is a world free of MS. Seems simple, but it's a big vision. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, and your vision doesn't need to happen overnight either. It may have been a business exercise, but it got me thinking a lot about my own personal vision and mission. My boyfriend, who's sitting over there, told me that our vision is a world of unlimited ice cream and travel. I don't think he was joking, and I'm pretty sure our business is in trouble. Gogobot's vision is for everyone to live life the fullest by helping them find memorable experiences. And it's pretty similar to my own personal vision. That's why I believe I'm in my dream job. Life isn't about things and stuff. It's not about being rich and famous. Events like the recent earthquake in Nepal remind us that everything we have, including the people who are closest to us, can be taken away in an instant. Living life to the fullest, at least in my mind, is about having memorable experiences with the people who mean most to you in this world and telling them how much they mean to you. Ask yourself if you're living the life that you want to have. When you sit at a table, are you surrounded by people who are growing and stretching you? And if you're lucky enough to be living the life that you want, are you lifting up the people who aren't smiling? Help someone who's struggling with their groceries. Give a coworker a compliment. Better yet, compliment them to their boss. There is no such thing as a perfect time. There's only today. Send your mom flowers when it isn't Mother's Day. Tell your kids you're proud of them, even if it isn't graduation day. Help people without ever wanting anything in return. Memories mean more than stuff, and a smile can make someone's day when everything else might be falling apart around them. You may no longer be a student, but continue to be a lifelong learner. Seek out memorable experiences, not things. Keep meeting new people. Gravitate towards people who expand your horizons. Find the smartest people in the room and ask them questions. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I do know I want to make the most of this life. Begin your adventure. Enjoy the zigs and the zags. Don't be scared. Scare up. Do what you were going to do tomorrow, today. Stuff and things won't fit in the overhead compartment, so travel light and pack your life full of memorable experiences. Class of 2015, I can't wait to see all the places you will go. Thanks again for letting me share this special occasion with you.